Hello and welcome to Fool Me Once. I am your host, Crypto Sentinel, and this is the web series where I investigate online cryptocurrency investments to see how legit they are. I never say a site is a scam or call them liars or thieves, though I may be thinking it, but I will point out red flags as I see them and rate each company based on my experiences on a final score of a possible 20. Remember that all investments have an inherent risk, and at no point am I telling you that you should take that risk. I do research on the sites to help you make an informed decision, and I encourage you to challenge these companies individually and even me. If anybody notices any really important info that I failed to include, send me your updates. If they're good, I will edit the video and give you a shout out or invite you to do a video with me. Have a site you want me to review? Let me know and I'll give a shout out to you when I do it. Please like and subscribe so I can do more videos. We'll do a quick review. Customer service, I'm going to say it's a 4 overall. There's some weird kind of sketchy stuff going on there. Return on investment, I don't think you'll actually see a return on investment, so I'm going to give them a low number. Ease of use, the website does appear to be relatively easy to use. I'm not going to take off any score with regards to whether or not it's easy to invest in or not. But I would say that overall, glutton for punishment, it's not a hard one. It's probably more like a 2. Maybe if I had a lot of money and I was just thinking, I might take a little bit of risk here, I might do this, but that's not my main goal in this, is to jump on this site. Like, that's not one that I would seek out and say, I really want to try to do business with them. So out of a possible score of 20, I would say that your final score here is going to be a 12. Not the worst score in the world, not the best score in the world. So, hello guys and gals. Today we are looking at crypto-mining.com. So we always start with our checklist, and we're going to look at the professionalism overall. So here's our checklist. Professionalism, let's start with this landing page, shall we? So the landing page is here. I would say initial look and feel is pretty sleek. Things appear to have been well designed. I'm not seeing a lot of weird stuff out of place. Things don't look like they're crunched on top of one another. Apparently they allow mining in USDT, which is Tether, which is based off of the US dollars value, which is pretty interesting to me. Potential income per contract period, up to 125% per year guaranteed. That's an interesting guarantee. It doesn't mean good or bad. I'm just saying it's interesting. They're saying that if you invest $5,000, you will get $10,798. That sounds, I mean, that sounds incredible. It doesn't sound quite as ridiculous as some of the other sites that I've looked at in the past. And by ridiculous, I mean bad, right? So we'll look at those things a little bit more later. Forecast is indicative. It does not include resale of altcoins and maintenance fee. Okay, so I've been bit by maintenance fees with other sites in the past. It really depends on how much they charge, so we might have to keep that in mind also. Highest payouts, copy trading, pledge your mining contract, pledge your cloud mining, and get up to 100% of its price and multiply your income trading cryptocurrencies, stocks, commodities, with leverage up to 1 by 100. The previous experience. Okay, so something that I've noticed that's kind of interesting, or at least I find pretty interesting, is they advertise that the site is both a cloud mining and it is a Forex margin trading site. I like these a little bit more. I think there's still something sort of more legitimate to them. Most cloud mining sites are sort of inherently bad, or they follow an HYIP or a high yield interest program kind of scheme, and that's a little bit sneaky to me. So I'd say overall, the initial look and feel, professionalism looks good. I'm happy with how it looks so far. I didn't find any issues with grammar and spelling, so let's go ahead and check out their terms and conditions, if they have any. Scroll down to the page. It's not on the top. Maybe it's on the bottom. Terms and conditions. All right, website and service. We're going to find something that doesn't have their exact name in it, and that is sort of a general line somewhere. All right, maybe, oh, A special deal, of course, and they advertise they've been in the business for 3 years. We shall see about that, or we'll at least see if we are able to find that they have in fact been in business for 3 or more years. So let's see here. Going back down, it pulled me back up on the page. It's kind of frustrating, but not bad, just frustrating. Let's submit an order to administer a cloud machine. That's interesting. We're going to take that and we're going to bring that right over here into Google. Okay, so I see something else here. My gbit, affinitymining.co.za, master cloud miner. Okay, I'm seeing a whole bunch of similar mining terms and conditions. So I'm not going to say it's bad, but I'm going to say it looks a little bit more fishy that a lot of people are using the same terms and conditions. I don't like that per se. It doesn't look like that was entirely drafted. So the fact that you're using something boilerplate, meh, not the best look for them. Okay, we'll go back to their page. We'll go back to Google also. Let's look at their privacy if they have one. That guy's trying to talk to me again. I'll walk you through that in just a second. Privacy policy. IQ Mining does its utmost to ensure the privacy, confidentiality, and security of its clients are preserved both throughout the interaction. Okay. So something I'm also noticing is the English seems to be done very well on the site. I'm not noticing a lot of weird things that I would notice for someone who was not a native English speaker, so I like that. It looks like they either had somebody look it over or that they themselves might be speaking English very well. When sometimes I don't even speak English that well, so pretty interesting. May contact clients, whether by phone or email, for the purpose of offering them further information about. Let's try that. I think that's enough to glance at. We're going to search for that piece. Gold Hill Capital. Okay. QB. Marketing communication. Okay, so maybe that's just another piece. ACM broker. I mean, I don't know what these other companies are. Built on traders. They appear to be financial trading, or at least financial websites in general. So that's another one that I'm not a huge fan of that I'm seeing elsewhere. So I'm going to say that it's a little bit fishy. Not the worst thing on the face of the earth, but we'll still put that in there as potentially not an amazing flag. Okay, so let's look at their About Us page. IQ Mining, 3 years of success. Okay. Canada, Russia, Iceland, Georgia, Algeria, and China. And they've got a phone number here, and they've got a Russian number, interestingly enough. I haven't tried contacting either of their phone numbers. They're About Us. Founded at the end of 2016 by a team of experts in the blockchain programming. It just says About Us. This is more like a Contact Us page. Where are there? I'm not seeing anything about the guy who owns this. Okay, so there's not really a specific piece that I'm noticing here. We're going to go back to that pricing for a second, because I noticed something a little bit weird. I'm not noticing anything about advertising who the owners of the website are, who the officers of the company are, so I don't like that either. Typically, if somebody has a really good product, a lot of these officers love to talk about themselves and sort of show off who they are, and I like that more just because then you can find a very clear footprint on the internet about who some of these people are, right? It gives me more of a warm fuzzy if I know who to blame when my money disappears. So let's go check out their FAQ here. How do I earn money? How long do I wait? What is IQ mining? Okay, still not a whole lot of information that I'm able to find easily. Knowledge base, Bitcoin. mining, general stuff. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything easy. I'm going to consider that to be another weird red flag. There's no indication of who their company officers are. Contact email. I did see that there was a contact email somewhere. So we'll go back to that page, and we're going to look at the Contact Us page. Where it was somewhere, I'm sure of it. The About Us is what they're using as their Contact Us page, so it doesn't tell you information about the company. Instead, it tells you very little information about the company. We were established at the end of 2016, but it doesn't say specifically, who the officers are, what their what their operations are like. Only that they have 6 data centers, one of them being in Georgia. And I've confirmed that this is Georgia in the United States, according to their chat that I brought up here. And we'll get into this in just a second. The chat guy was pretty professional. He made me wait a little bit of time to answer questions about whether or not they were qualified with a Series 7 license in the United States to sell investments or not. And yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. They do have a normal domain normal domain email address, which is kind of nice. We'll go into this too. So this is iqmining.com. Okay, go back to this page here. Contact info. Yes, they do. They do have a phone number there. I saw that they have a couple of phone numbers there. Did we see an address? I don't know if we saw an address. Let's go back and look here. Everything here is kind of private. So no, they don't have a specific address, and they do say that one of them is located here. One of their data centers is in Georgia. Okay, so still no address. I don't like the fact that they're not telling you at least where like a centralized office is or something. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to indicate that as another weird kind of red flag. I did these wrong. We're going to delete this here. So that's fine. Okay. They did have a contact email and they did have a contact phone, which seems to be okay. I haven't tried calling those, so maybe they would turn out to be a little bit fishy. I'm not sure. Like I said, I can't say that it looks amazing. I can only say that they advertised that there is one. Business registration. I didn't see anything about the business being registered anywhere. A lot of these sites will indicate it. I'm going to say because they didn't offer it up. I don't know. I will say this. Going to the response for the website. I went to this website. I jumped on this little chat box, and sometimes I like to just ask people a couple of questions. So it started out, I'll narrate this for you. Hello, how may I help you? And I said, hello, screaming caps. I did that by accident. Where are your data centers located? It says, please introduce yourself in chat. So I did so. Hello, hi, where are your data centers located? Location of the biggest data centers: Canada, Russia, Iceland, Georgia, Algeria, and China. Okay, this is a veritable United Nations worth of companies here. Is for the Republic of Georgia or the U.S. state Georgia? And I said, okay, great. He said U.S. state. Okay, let me ask, does IQ Mining have a tax ID to do business in America? Or do any of their representatives have a current Series 7 license to sell investments in the United States? So on this one, I waited for about 20 minutes. That's why I said hello again. He responded with, one moment, please. So I said, yeah, no worries, take your time. Unfortunately, it's not possible to use it in the US. So I would say I appreciate him getting back to me with an answer. But I think it's inherently unusual and sneaky that they have a product that is at least semi-located in the United States, according to them, and it cannot be used by members of the United States. I don't like that. That sounds sneaky, so I'm still going to say, even though this does not look good, right? So we're going to go back here. We're going to say response. I'm going to give that both a good and bad. It's good that they responded. It's bad about the information that they told me. So we're going to look at the overall trustworthiness of the domain. right? So we're going to say domain age and domain expiration is next. So I brought this up over here in domain tools. Obviously, I use free services so that you can use the same types of services. So they say they started at the end of 2016. It says that the domain was from 2017. So that could be about right. They could have started sort of brainstorming and getting things ready back then. That would be fine. I don't have any problems with that. We're still going to check it out and look and see what it looked like back in 2017 or 2018 early, if we can do that. This says that it's old. This is very old. This is a veteran in the business, according to what I normally see. However, I don't like the fact that it expires in 1 year. They've been doing this for a while. I don't know if they renew it every year. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't give me a warm fuzzy that they're saying you can have a 2-year contract and the contract outlasts the expiration of the website. That makes me feel a little bit not as comfortable. So I personally would like to see the expiration date always further out than the contract that I make with a website. So we'll go back over here. Their length, nope, it's the wrong page. Their length, domain age, looks great actually so far. Domain expiration, I'm not a fan of it because it's only a year out. Shared server, now they are on a shared server, but it's not a crazy high shared server. 63 other sites. That's not the cheapest. I've seen some shared servers that have 1,500 other sites. I would say 63 it's not my favorite, but it's definitely not the worst. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. We're going to leave that one blank, okay? So reverse image searches, I didn't see anything that I can really use as a positive or a negative. They didn't say like, here's a picture of our data center or here's a picture of our whatever. When they say those things, I will normally try to search reverse image searches to see whether or not that's something that we are able to do, is find one of those pictures online somewhere else. So I wasn't able to do that, and I'm not going to hold them against it. Payment systems used, we'll go back to this page just for a second, because I saw something kind of fishy here. We'll close this out. Back to pricing. So what they're saying here, SHA-265, that's Bitcoin. So they say you can do a lifetime contract. Yeah, that sounds great and all, but typically with lifetime contracts, I've actually never seen one that worked out well. Typically, they would be paying, but you never actually see a return on your investment because the difficulty of the coin typically goes up so high. I'm not going to say that's what they're doing, but it doesn't make me feel good, right, that they have a lifetime contract. That reminds me of companies like Genesis Mining, which a lot of people got burned on it. I watched a video once where a guy was saying he had a friend that put in $20,000, and after 2 or 3 years, he only got $8,000 back of his investment, and that's basically garbage as far as I'm concerned. We're not in this to lose money. We're in this to try to make money on some of these investments. So here's what they're saying. 10 gigs, there's a maintenance fee. So these maintenance fees absolutely add up. Just saying, this is a reminder. And that other part said that, you know, this doesn't include maintenance fees. So like that's a little bit sneaky to me. So we'll go back to the main site, the main landing page, and I saw something that advertised how you can pay. I know I saw it on here. Okay. How to buy power and withdraw profit. Okay, so they say Visa or MasterCard. I am going to go out on a limb and say I seriously doubt I can just put in my Visa or MasterCard number in this website and buy a contract in one of these. I seriously, seriously doubt it. If someone has done this, I will absolutely come back and have a retraction. But I would like to see that. I'm not saying that they're lying, but what I am saying is that I've actually never seen this work out well. I've seen people say, oh yeah, well you just have to go over to Perfect Money. Well, I can't use Perfect Money in America. I can't use Kiwi in America. I can't use Web Money in America. I'm just going to assume I can't use this one in America since I can't even read it. So I would go as far to say, I seriously doubt you can actually use any of these two here. However, if you can, please do me a favor and let me know in comments. and potentially send me proof, and I'll put it in the video, and I will come back and say, here's what I've seen. So I'm going to go back to here, shared server, and I'm going to say payment systems used. No, I'm not a big fan of it. Typical, you pay by Bitcoin. There isn't real safety in paying just by Bitcoin. So I'm not a huge fan that you have to pay in Bitcoin. They did use a shared server, like I said. I'm going to sort of skip that. I'm going to sort of skip this one here. Return on investment. I don't know. I can't say that they're definitely going to do it. They offered that guarantee earlier. That still doesn't really make me feel comfortable. I've seen guarantees elsewhere. Keep in mind that guarantee also said this does not include maintenance fees. I got burned with another site called Heshishini that had crazy maintenance fees that cut my profits in half and basically guaranteed I would never see a return on my investment. So I'm not going to say it's good or bad. What I will say is we'll check out this archive search and then give a final review. So hold on just a second. Archive search. I'm going to go back to here. IQ mining. Wayback Machine. Let's see if that works. Okay, so there's a lot of activity going back just a couple of years. Okay, still Bitcoin mining. This still looks pretty good. 3 easy steps to start mining, how smart mining works. They've got a picture of this guy here. We mine for you. Oh, here they advertise a lot of other stuff. Visa debit, Visa. Interesting. Finance Group Corp. Okay. I'm seeing some changes over time. I'd say overall, I'm relatively impressed by what their archive of this site looks like, and I don't think that this looks bad. Average daily payout. I would say this, however, this is very, very sneaky looking. If you invest $3,000, you get $630 a day. Wow, I mean that's 20% return a day, or 21, 22% return a day. That's outrageous. That would be a major red flag for me. If I had seen that on the site right now, I would be like, no, there's no way this is going to work out. This is bad news. So we're going to say crypto pays mile 2020 graph. Let's skip ahead a little bit. It was 2018. Had a picture of some dude there that looked like a really professionally done picture, or potentially a stock photo. We're just going to look and see what kinds of changes existed. I mean, this guy's even wearing a jacket. That means it's official, right? Oh, this sounds way more reasonable based on mining statistic. However, contract size 3,000. Gosh, that's per month. You're never going to make your money back, dude. I mean, that's going to take years to get your money back. So that's a terrible investment, according to this one. Obviously, everything was old school here. Made a couple of changes. So overall, I'd say that I'm glad to see that their site has in fact existed since at least 2018, 2017 timeframe. So yeah, there definitely is long-term website presence. I would say overall, I'm relatively impressed with it. Let's do a quick tally here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's not how I do whether or not I think I'm going to say glutton for punishment. No, I would definitely not put any money in this. I seriously doubt you'd actually see your money back. That doesn't mean I think you shouldn't put your money in, or you should put your money in it, but it does say that I personally would not, based on the information that I see on their site.